here we are. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining. Thanks for being there. Hope you're having a great day, great Thursday. As always, we're here on Tuesdays and Mondays and Thursdays. We've changed the Tuesdays for Mondays. So yeah, so glad to have you here. Oh my god, I think it's just one of you. I don't know. There were like 4 people just now, and I don't know how many people we have now, but hey, that's fine. Thanks for being there. However many of you there are, thanks so much for being there. Okay, so yeah, quick recap. We were doing we were doing some translation. We were translating the old Typescript components into visual components, and the whole idea behind it was to make sure that we have good or the necessary functionality to repeat the same things that we have in code in our visual component system. And so I decided to go ahead, and I had some doubts about certain things that I knew I would have to go and fix. So I fixed some of the things that we found that were problematic. And then what I did was, there was just one thing left, which we're going to have to face today. So we're probably going to just find a little workaround there, which is just fine. But yeah, then there's just one thing. There was one big issue that I found that I had to go back and solve, and it was great that I found that issue because I could solve like 3 or 4 other issues there, and that was fantastic. So it really worked for us because I went ahead and built a bit of the procedural scroller component for myself, and I know these videos haven't been very productive. Honestly, nobody's watching them. I see that, I don't know, it's not very entertaining. People are not commenting, not watching these videos. So that's a bit of a bummer, I guess. I had like 40 views in the last one, and the previous one had like 30. So it was like a shock, like, oh my god. Like usually there's like 100, 200, between like 80 and 200. So something like that. And this was just stunningly low. This was 30 views. It was insanely low. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer, when you do all that. On the contrary, on the other side, we had a good inflow of people coming into Rogue Engine, and also people also buying licenses, which was surprising to me. It has been surprising to me in the last few months. So that's pretty great, And I hope that, I am sure that will increase even more when we actually get the get this off the ground, when we get the 1.0 released, which now I can say for a fact that we're close. Now I can see it. Now I can feel, the little tingle in my belly, like, oh yeah, it's coming, because I know that it's coming. It's just now it's unavoidable. Now it's just gonna happen because it's still all just coming alive, and now it's just a matter of let's power through this. Let's get the most that we can. Let's get all the functions we can together. Let's make this thing as powerful as possible. Like get all the functionality that we need, as much of it as possible. And let's go for it. Let's go for it. So I don't want to waste any more of your time. If you're watching, say hello, and all that. Yeah, and we're gonna get to it. Okay, let's get to translating. We have some interesting challenges today, so we'll see if we can do them all and finish this thing. We'll probably finish everything today. Let's just do a little recap of what I did, and we'll get to it. All right, so let me close this down. Let me close this one down here, and let's open this one and this one. And let me share the screen. Here it is. Yes. Okay. Yes. So, okay. Let me show you what I have. Okay. Because what I did is I still have this procedural controller here, but we have also this one here. I've changed. This one had a list of prefabs, and we had the two-way road because we were planning on having multiple tiles. But in the new one, in the visual component one that I built, I just made a single component field because we just have one. And the idea is to translate what we had, not to build anything else. If we want something more, we'll just make it into into an array and start working from there. But right now, it's just a tile prefab, and that's our tile, and that's what it's going to be. Yeah, maybe we don't want it to be an array. We're going to see today. We need to create a brick today for one of the latest features that we built that we released in the last iteration, which we've been testing, and now it's the time to like really put it to the test. So that's going to be very interesting. And yeah, well, the other thing I did is let me show you how it looks, okay? Because I left this one on, and I've turned this one off, right? So this one's off and this one's on. Okay, so we'll see what we have here. Okay, so the tiles are moving, they are being replaced. Like now, you know, they go to whatever they need to go and they start being replaced. They're being swapped, right? They're just swapping it themselves and moving down. So that's what they're doing. The tiles, they're just moving down, right? And they're swapping themselves like that. So that's what you see, right? The tiles are always the same. They're not like removing. We're not removing any of the tiles. This is all that is moving in the scene right now. They're just moving down and being, you know, swapping themselves to the back and just keep moving down. That's all they do. In a certain speed that we give it, we tell it the swap distance. We tell it, you know, how fast they can go. Like, well, they have a tile speed and a booster that we have here. We can reduce the boost if we want. You know, we can make it slower with the booster. It's interesting, isn't it? There you go. Ooh, we can make it super fast as well. Like, wah! You see, if we make it super fast, you can see the swapping plays there. You can see the gap there before he swaps. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, let's make it like 1.2, I think 1.5 or something. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's I think that's cool. We have everything we need. We can do we can go check out what I did. Yeah, so let me show you. This is the original, and this is the one we've done with the visual component. Okay, so what I've done is I have completed the which one complete? Well, I completed almost everything. I'm just missing the instantiate obstacles and the move obstacles. So everything related to the obstacle. So we don't have obstacles yet. I haven't added the obstacle system because I needed some bricks. And yeah, I found some problems with this one, with the call method. There were some important issues. I didn't realize that I wasn't cleaning up on swap, like when changing one tab and the other. I wasn't properly cleaning one and the other, so we were actually overwriting certain parameters specifically from this. So there was a start game that I had added a parameter in another component, and that overrode the start game in this one and gave it a parameter. So the start game here suddenly had the call method in the start game had a parameter that I had never added. So that was an issue that I had to resolve. I had to find where is this. It was really hard to debug because I didn't know like what was going on. I never thought that this was you know, it was coming from another component. But then I realized it was happening when I swapped the when I was clicking back, and I realized, oh, it's the same component, it's the same function, the same name function, always having the same issue. So I realized it was an overwriting issue. I had to debug everything, go through to figure out what was going on, and then I found out, oh, I wasn't cleaning up everything properly. So yeah, I just cleaned everything up. And well, yeah, it's also faster now. It's also much faster, incredibly enough. So I also improved performance, improved a bunch of other things. So yeah, I think I'm happier now with the current state of things, I believe. Let me drink some water because yeah, there you go. You can start by just giving a like there. Leave me a like, follow, all that. It really helps if you're there. I mean, there's nobody there. Come on. I think it's just me on YouTube right now. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, who cares? Do you like the yellow light? I think I like. You know what? I'm gonna change the lighting because I don't know. I'm getting annoyed by this light. I think. Yeah, I'm getting a bit annoyed by this light. Should I change the lighting to something like this? Something like this, like this. Like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. This one's cool, isn't it? This one's cool. Yeah, I like that one. Let's just leave that one. That one kind of plays well with the environment, with the rest of it, doesn't it? That one or this one? One of those. This one's cool too. This one too. Yeah. This one. I like that one. I like that one. I think that's cool. All right, yeah. Let's go to it. Let's get to it. All right. Let's get to the where is it? Let me share my screen. Here we are. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we'll let's get started with this. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, so let's review this thing. So one here and one here. Yeah, so we have both side by side. There you go. Yeah, so we have the start method where we are displaying the game menu. We start calling the generate tiles, right? Which we're gonna go see now, and then we do the yes. So it's the same thing, right? Which is show the start game menu. We do the generate tiles thing, right? And then we come down here and we say, okay, on pointer up. So we're setting the on pointer up, and here we're doing the same, the HTML UI on pointer up for the restart button, right? So both of them for the restart button. Just selecting the restart button here, right? That's all we did. And then we go to the game over UI, make it display false, right? So we stop displaying it and we start the game, right? We run the start game method. That's what we do at the very beginning, right? So we do the generate tiles, and we wait for the user to and we set up the event to restart the game, right? So we set up the event for the restart button. That's what we do, right? Because the restart button is already here. We already have it here. So yeah, the restart button is right here, right? I've assigned all of the all of these already. So I'll show you later. But yeah, we've assigned them already, so they're already there, all of them. All the buttons, everything. It's just some HTML, so this should be easy. And then what else do we have? The update. So every frame, what are we doing every frame? Every frame, what we're doing is we're saying in the update, right? So if the game state equals over and it's not displaying the game over UI, then what we do is we stop showing the in-game menu, right? Because this means that the game is over and that we don't have the game over. This means that we died, but we still haven't really shown, hey, you have died. So we need to show the user the, that they have died. So we show the game over menu. We stop showing the in-game menu, right? So the score and whatever else we want to show there. And then we set the final score, which is within the game over UI, right? It's a child of the game over UI. We set that final score UI to whatever we have in our score field, right? Which is a score field here, right? So that's all there is. And then we come here to these, and then we say, well, if the game state equals ready, right? It's just another way to state this. Here we're doing it with an expression, with a Boolean expression, but here we did it with an action, right? Equals game state ready, right? And so doing it this way, it's just different, and it's not better, worse, or anything. It's just different. It's just a different way of doing it. If you're familiar with Booleans, with Boolean expressions, it's much easier, much better, much more readable to write it this way. It looks better. It's just better. And we do, okay, equals game state is ready. Then we say, well, we wait until the user presses fire, right? So when the user presses the fire button, right? If the user presses fire, remember we're doing this in every frame. So as we come in here, every frame, every frame we come here and the game state is ready and we're waiting for the fire button, right? And it doesn't happen, just goes away, right? So it comes back and goes away. And until we press that frame, we press the fire button. So it captures the fire button and says, oh, you've come here. So you press the fire button. Now start game UI is false. Right? We stop displaying the start game UI. We stop displaying the game over UI because now, so this is in case we are in the game over menu or we are in the on the start game menu, right? So the main menu of the game. This two, we stop displaying them both, right? If they are not being displayed, they just won't be displayed twice. So and we call the method to start the game. All right, call start game, and there we go. So and then we have the other one, which is, well, what happens when the game is this is for our menu for, this is what we are actually seeing here, right? If you press play, it's this, we see the tiles moving, right? So this is what we see. So what happens here? Sorry, here, yeah. So what we're saying is, well, if the game state does not equal over, right? So not equals game state over. What we do is, well, we called. You see how it's just coming down here, right? Everything's being run like this, right? The game is over, well, it does this, right? If the game is ready, right, we wait for this. But now if the game is not over, right, so it could come here and we still haven't pressed this button, and then it will come out of here and it goes, oh, the game is not over. It may be ready, but it's not over. So we want to show the main menu stuff, right? We want to show that, we want to move the tiles, right? And that's what it's doing. That's why it's just moving the tiles here for us, just to show us something. And yeah, and it's moving the obstacles as well, but we don't have that function yet. So I mean, we have it there, but it's not doing anything. It's not implemented. And yeah, so the move tiles, just so you know what the move tiles is doing. All the move tiles is doing is iterating our current tiles array. Remember that the first thing we did at the start, right? In the start, on the start is we generated the tiles. So all the tiles have been generated. So let's go to that first. Generate tiles is basically first cleaning up the scene. So it's cleaning up all the tiles and everything we have in the scene, right? Clean up is just doing, it's just, let me show you the cleanup scene. So cleanup scene method, all it's doing is it removes the player controller. It iterates through all the current tiles that we have, and it's removing each one of them from the scene. It goes through all the obstacles and removing them from the scene, and then clears both arrays, like clears the current tiles obstacle and the current tiles array and the obstacles array, right? So it removes them from first removes the object 3D in each one, and then clears both arrays. So simply cleaning everything we have, all the obstacles and the tiles. And the move tiles, sorry, and the generate tiles, right, says cleans up the scene, sets the current tile speed to our tile speed. This is the tile speed that we're going to be using. We're going to boost it. We're going to apply all kinds of modifiers to it. And we have the tile speed, which is the base tile speed that we have. And then we go through the tile amount that we decided, right? The tile amount is just this variable that we've set, right? It's just, we decided we wanted 10 tiles, right? So you can see here, it's a tile amount. We've set it default 10, and we've set to inspect it so we can see it here. The tile amount is just 10. And yeah, and let's see here, generate tiles. Yeah, so we set that. We set the current tile speed to the tile speed that we have. This is how fast the tiles are moving. Then we say, okay, how many tiles we have? Okay, let's go through each one of the tiles. Let's repeat this this block this many times, right? So this is like a for loop, right? This is like a for loop basically. It will say, okay, repeat this many times this block. So we'll come in here and say, okay, depending on the amount of tiles that you set, right? You say 10 tiles, so you go through this 10 times, and it will go, okay, let's instantiate the tile prefab, right? No parent, and we have the instance here. We receive the return value here, and now what we do is we set a variable here, a simple variable where we say, okay, we want to add the tile start at, right? So this is the first number that we're going to set here. Like the first number for our addition is the tile start at. So we're trying to look for the position. We're trying to look for what's the start position of our tile, right? Where we want to instantiate it, and we say we want it to be in the tile start at, which we've set tile start at here -10, right? So we're setting them like right ahead, right? And multiplying the index, right, the position of these ones by the tile distance. So we start like we instantiate them, all the tiles, like by the distance that we want them to be from each other, right? So we go, okay, now the next one, right? We add the start position plus the distance, right? By the index, right? So the distance, so it's distance by 1, distance by 2, distance by 3. This, you know, so you see, so it's all, they're always like, it's always augmenting. And now we have that as the set position. We set the position of that instance that we just created, the tile instance. We have that here, and we decide to set its set position to the position that we just created there. And why is it showing any? We have a problem here. This should actually show the this one's returning a number, so this should be a number here. We have a problem there with the return type. This should be showing us a number. It's not problematic because it's an any, so it's not a wrong type or something like that. It's just an any. It means it couldn't find the type, couldn't infer the type correctly. It means that my infer is probably not doing its job. The infer function I did for this block, for this brick. Okay. So it so we have here the position, right? So we set the position of our instance. We set x to 0, y to 0, right? And we set the position there, just setting there, you know, position. There you go. It only lets us select the variables, the possible variables. The index in this case is a number, and the position, which, well, it's any here, but it should be a number. It is a number. And here we have our array of current tiles, and we're adding the instance that we just created, right? So we instantiate it, we set its position, and we add it to our array of current tiles. So that's what we do when we generate the tiles. And then what we're doing here is we're moving the tiles. How do we move the tiles? Well, we move them by going through each of them through it. You see how we added them to the current tiles, right? We added each instance to that array, and then we come here and we start translating them, right? We simply do that with the object translate set. We translate Z. Remember, Z is Y, X, and Z, right? So we're moving them, you know, backwards. We're moving it towards us, and that's what we see here, right? They're moving towards us. There, that's what we see. It's the tiles moving. It's not the car moving. So what we see is just tiles moving, and yeah. And then what we do is, we go through each of them. This iterate is similar to the repeat, but instead of repeating a block for every certain amount of times, what we do is we iterate an array, so we get the value of that array. In this case, the current tiles returns the value is an object 3D, so we get this value here and the index, the position of that iteration. So the position within the array that we're iterating. So it goes through that and it says, okay, translate set the value, right, the object 3D that we got, and we're using here a numeric operation, right? You can get yourself a numeric expression, and you have expression numeric and expression boolean. This is a numeric one, and you can set up, you know, your operators like that. So the minus current tile speed by the booster by delta time, right? So this is just to keep it frame safe. We said always multiply by the delta time whenever we're using translate, something like this. And yeah, we'll multiply the tile speed and the booster that we have there, right? We set you remember the booster that we're using to make it slower or faster. You know, we can or make it slower, you see. So there you go. So yeah, then we come here and we say, okay, if the position in set, right, this is translate set, and this gets the position in set of the object 3D, right, of the value that we're iterating, not in world position, so in local position. We don't need that. We don't need to calculate the world position because yeah, it's unnecessary. This gives us the possibility to set a true or false if we want the world position. Basically, it's just simple as that. And it says, okay, if it's smaller or equal, if the position in set is smaller or equal than the swap distance, right? So we're always thinking of the swap distance is from 0, right? We're looking at 0, right? And we say, okay, how far are you from 0? So it says, okay, you're from 0, you are at swap distance, right? If it's smaller or equal, then we want to, because remember we are subtracting, we're going backwards, so it should be smaller or equal than the swap distance, which in our case is like minus 70 here. So it will be, yeah, we can look at the numbers there. If we just move this a little bit here, you can see the numbers here. So I don't think am I covering it with my face? I think I may be covering it with my face. So let's move it a bit here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's move it around here. So let's make it a little smaller there. Okay, so what we do is we say, I think it was safe there in positioning. Yeah. Okay, so I got lost. There you go. So if it's smaller or equal than the swap distance, we simply call the swap tile method, and we pass in which object are we swapping, right? Which one are we swapping? Okay, so it's a swap tile object, right? And what the swap tile does is it comes here and says, okay, it gets that swap tile, it gets that tile that it needs to swap, right? You see how you just add a parameter here, like anything, you know, it's just a function that we created. And what it does is it says, okay, get the last, get the last element in this array, right? Array get last, it just gives us the last element of an array. So it's cur tiles, the array that we want to get the last element from, and it's the last is just an object 3D there. And what we want to do is remove the element at 0 in the current tiles, right? So we want to remove the first element in the this is the index, right? Remember, arrays are index based, right? So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we say, okay, remove the first element in our array, right? So what we do is, remember, we get in the last one, just knowing which one the last one is. And now we are removing the first one, right? So now we have an array that is sort of smaller, right? And so what we do is we get that, we want to set the position of our tile, of the tile that we're passing in here, to the position of the last tile, right? We could copy the position or something, but what we're actually doing here is we're taking the tile, and because we could copy the position and add, but here instead of doing that, what we're doing is simply adding the set, which is more practical. So we say, okay, set the position of our tile on set, right, to adding the position in the last one, the position set of the last one, right, adding the tile distance, right? So let's move it a little bit backwards, right? So if this one, if the last one is a certain place, we're just going to put it there plus the distance, right? So previously we were adding them, by the distance. We're simply doing the same step, right? We're just grabbing it and adding the distance, right? Going there, wherever it is, wherever the last one is, and adding the distance. And then what we do is we say here's where we instantiate the obstacles. But let's not think of that now. Let's forget about the obstacles for a second, because we haven't done that yet. And now what we do is we add the current tile that we have here, the current tile that we're adding, we add it to our current tiles array. So now the current tiles array is always the amount of tiles that we have, always the fixed amount of tiles we have, and we set the score to +1, because what we do is whenever a tile swaps, we say we know we've moved. So that's what we said. Okay, we've moved. We passed the tile, right? We add the score whenever a tile is swapping. It's an easy way to set the score for us, right? So the score moves whenever we swap a tile. When a tile swaps, it means we've been moving, right? So that's what moves the score, not some other timer or something. It's fixed to the place we're in, and how much have we actually moved. So how many tiles have we swapped? It's I think it's a fair assumption. So we save this, because have we done any changes? I don't know. And now let's think of the obstacles now, okay? Because there are a few things here. We haven't yet done anything with the obstacles, so we need to do the obstacles part. For everything here to work, we need to do the obstacle stuff. So how do we do the obstacle stuff? Well, this thing that we see here, it should be showing the different cars that we have, here in prefabs, obstacles. And these are, our different obstacles that we have. Delivery truck, kidnap truck. We called it the kidnap truck. And we have the sports car and a tractor there. Well, we have a problem. Oh, we have a problem with the miniatures here. I don't know what's going on there. We have a problem. Yeah, this is not showing the correct one. This is not the correct. No. Yeah, it's not the correct one. You see how this one's tractor. It's wrong. Okay. So, and this is our player vehicle. And yeah, this is our tile, right? This is just a street, the two-way road. And yeah. So, so we need to instantiate these in the scene, right? And we don't want to add them like in a list. You see how we didn't have them in a list here. So we have a new function. We added a new function in the last version of Rogue Engine that allows us to instantiate things from a folder within the prefab folder, right? So if you have a prefabs folder, you can have like as many folders here as you want, and you can instantiate them from the path that they're in, right? So it could be, if it's within prefabs here, would be the name of the prefab. If it's here, would be prefab. It would be obstacles. So be obstacles slash the name of the prefab, right? So obstacles slash sports car. You see, so yeah, that's basically what we have to do. Now we can do that in code, but we can't do that yet in the we don't have that function in our system. So we need to add this new function that we added to Rogue Engine. We need to add an action for it. Yeah, so let me explain where this needs to happen. Here where we create the tiles, right? So in start, we're generating the tiles, right? So we do the whole generate tiles, and this simply generates the tiles. It doesn't generate any obstacles or anything like that. But what we do is, if you can see here, whenever we instantiate a tile, here we go. Yeah, whenever we instantiate a tile, whenever we do a swap of a tile, so it would be the second instantiation, right? The moment we start swapping them, it wouldn't be instantiation, it's just swapping. So the moment we swap tiles, we start adding points and instantiating more enemies. Each tile has like about 6 positions you can add different obstacles that we've just hard set on them. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So you see, this is the tile, right? And it has this sub object called slots, and in one of them, you know, it has, each one of the slots has a position there, and we can use that position as a reference to say, okay, where we need to set our new tile, or our new obstacle, sorry. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna exit here, and yeah, we're gonna do that. So just a second, let me see that everything's good, because sometimes when I hear the cell phone, oh no, okay, sometimes the cell phone tells me, oh, you're disconnected from you know, YouTube sends me a message when, you know, you finish your stream, and suddenly I didn't realize I was on live stream. I know my monitor is fine, so we're okay. We're okay for now. We're okay. So, okay. So the whole point here about what we're doing is, when we swap the tile, we need to see, okay, how many have we instantiated? You see, so. See, we do the swap tile. Let me show you let me see if we can do it in code here, because since we haven't done it, we need to show you I need to come here and set the code part of this. There you go. Because we need to instantiate the obstacles of this tile, right? So there you go. So you see how we instantiate the obstacles. We say, okay, if instantiate count is smaller than 1, what we do is we instantiate the obstacles, right, for this tile, right? So we pass into instantiate obstacle. What we do is we pass the tile. We're going to look for every slot in that tile. Then we're going to you know, we're just going to make sure, this is just to make sure that we have we don't put a tile, we don't put an obstacle in a used slot, like we don't repeat the slots. Basically that's as much as we're doing there. And so it's just doing, you know, this while use slots. So this is going to be the most difficult part, I think, because everything else is kind of simple, which is setting positions. So it should be fine, but figuring out this sort of little mechanics is going to be interesting, because this one, for instance, we don't have yet the support for array variables. I realized like 3 days ago, oh, I needed this one, and I had totally forgotten to add the support in the variable. We have it in the fields, but we don't have it in the variable, so I need to add that one. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's simple enough. But yeah, I just need to add like the UI for it. It's all there. I just need the UI. Since we don't have the UI here right now, And yeah, I don't want to get into that right now. We're just going to do it with a field, and that's it. We're just going to have a use slots field, and we're going to reset it every single time we come in here. We reset it. We make sure it's reset. It's cleared, and and yeah, we're going to yeah, do a repeat basically of obstacles per tile, right? This is just a field that we have, which it's one of these inspected fields that we have. We've decided that it was going to be 2 obstacles per tile, so it's going to come here twice, right? 2 times, and it's going to say, okay, random range. It's going to get a number from 0 to the amount of child slots. You see, because we're getting the slots. So this is one that we need. We need to, I think we don't have a get object by name. I don't think we do have this one. So we need to add this action. So get object by name, first of all. Then we need to probably add some kind of while as well. Like some kind of yeah, something that says, okay, yeah, probably a while, just probably a while loop. It's probably just a single while loop. We'll try to do this. We can do a while loop, but I would like to have something that is a bit more intuitive, you know, that is less, because I think this is a very programmer thing doing this. Like, this is something that a programmer would do, right? And having the option of doing this, I think is great, but can we simplify it to its minimum expression? Like, this is a simple function, something that, you know, we can, is there a way that we can select a random range or a random number that is not in, you know, and filter it, like say, okay, none of these, you know, say, okay, if it's included in this, then, you know, just don't use them. Because here we're simply saying, okay, we want a random number from 0 to the length of the slots, right, to the amount of slots that we have. I want to floor it, because otherwise it could have what's the name, decimals. It can be floating numbers, so we floor it so it doesn't have so they're all integers, right? So it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, you know, depending on the amount of slots. Well, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we do is we select one of those numbers, right? And it will be just an integer. And if the number is included in our use slots, right, we want to try a new number, right? So we'll do another number, right? And we'll do it over and over until the number we've selected is not used. It's not included in our use slots. That's basically what we're doing. Now, could we do this in a simpler way? That would be cool to see. We still need some kind of while loop anyway. So we're going to add a while loop. It's a bit dangerous. It's kind of dangerous. It is. So that is my biggest issue with the while loop. It is dangerous. So, but we also need these includes. So we need to add the get object by name, includes, while loop probably. This is going to be what we're going to do now. Basically, yeah, because the first thing we need to do is get the objects, the slots by name. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Then we're going to add our little use slots array. And then we're going to go through that array. We have a random range. We already have this one. We know we need to find one from 0 to the length there and all that. Yeah, fine. And yeah, and I'm still thinking we should probably not do it with a while, but yeah. We should probably have an easier way of doing this than with while. It's easy for a programmer, obviously. For me, it's intuitive, but I know not for everyone it's intuitive. So, yeah, I'm thinking there should be an easier way for this. Yeah. the easiest way I could think of is perhaps by adding all the numbers to an array and maybe remove them and just, you know, like say, okay, it's an array of numbers, right? And so it would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just that, right? And we select a random range, and the one we pick, we also remove from the array. Yeah, that could also work, I guess, because we're selecting from the numbers in an array, but that means that we have to actually select. We wouldn't be using the random range, would we? Because the point is that we're selecting just a there could be a case where since we're picking from the length of the children, we could be picking something that is not correct. So how could we pick it? If we have like a for loop, if we have like we have like a for loop, a repeat where we just add to an array. I don't know. We're just gonna add a while. We need to add the object by name, includes, and the while, and then I'm going to think of a different solution for this, because I'm sure there has to be an easier way of doing this. I'm 100% sure of that. And something that's more intuitive for a non-programmer to think, oh, I need to pick 2 or 3 different positions for this, and I don't want to repeat them. So how do I know if I've used that position? That's this is not a very intuitive solution for that. But let's add that. We still need to add the while, and we still need to add the includes and the get object by name. So let's do that. How do we add them? So we're gonna go to my bricks, is where we're adding all of our bricks. We're going to find object 3D. We have the get parent here. Okay. We have the get parent. Let's see. What's it? Get object. Look at that. Get. So the get parent, which ones do we have here? So it's iterate, get parent, remove, set enabled, set position, move, flat camera direction, rotate around, translate X, translate Y. We have all these things. So the first ones we have, we've added are to actually move, to set the parent. Yeah, in this case, to set the parent, right? So we should probably have let's do this. Yeah, let's copy paste this. Just simply copy paste this one and say get by name. So it's object 3D get by name. And this will show just that object 3D get by name. RE just shows that it's an internal one, and it's an internal action. And here, instead of an object 3D, we'll just have a string name, and it will return an object 3D saying, we'll just call object 3D like that. And what we'll do here is, we need the name, which will be a string. Don't look at the, as I always say, these are just copy pasted. So get an object 3D by its name. So These are all of them. Most of them are copy pasted. So yeah, it's best if we have the object. So yeah, we should probably have also here where to look from. So we could have an optional object 3D here as a parameter. So yeah, let's just set that. Let's just set that here. What's the parent that we want to look from? Because we could use the scene, for instance. If we don't set this one, this is optional, okay? So if we don't set this one, we're just going to look in the scene, right? So okay, we say re dot runtime dot yeah, scene get, well, actually yeah, let's do it this way. Let's say because we need to add the other parameter here. Is the object 3D. Yeah, would be always parent object 3D. Oh, sorry, object 3D, and we'll say that if parent. So this one's optional. So if there's a parent, or return parent, that get object by name. Yeah, that will really help, because we're looking for an object within this object, and we're sort of shrinking down the sample, instead of just looking through the whole scene, just looking in the object itself. So yeah, I'm gonna do, sorry, else we're going to do return re.runtime.scene.get object by name. Yeah, so this is to get object by name, which we'll have now available in our thing here. So yeah, if we come here now, should have the get by name. There you go, get by name. I call it object 3 get by name. Yeah, so get by name, get an object 3 by its name. There you go. So we have that one now. And what else do we need? We need we said that we needed, see which one else. We said we needed the get object by name, the includes. So for an array, I think we have this one. I think we have includes use slots. It would be this number, right? So yeah, I think we have this one. Let me see my bricks. All right, see add. So let's, this way it's easier. Add, remove add, clear, get index, has item, this one. So yeah, we just called it has item. Could have called it includes. We could have called it includes actually, but yeah, let's just go with this. Okay, so it exists already, so we don't need to do anything with that one. We have it already. Have a has item. And what else we have? Many of these I don't know. I have them because I've been adding them like boom, boom, boom. Like every time I need one, I add it. I need one, I add it. You see how that my bricks set was a very small thing, and now it's massive. It's turned into a massive file. very easily. So I can have like all my actions there, and then I can separate them in files and ship them depending on how we need them. And then we have, what else do we need? The while loop, right? So yeah, this is going to be the hard one. It shouldn't be too hard, but it's going to be a tough one anyway. So we're going to put it as it will be a block, and it will be like the repeat. So we'll put it close to the repeat one, and yeah, it will have a condition to go in and keep doing something. Yeah, so it's going to be tough. This one's not going to be easy. Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. Let's see. So, okay. What's the name? Repeat. So, let's grab the repeat here. And, yeah, let's just add while first. So, while. While the condition is true. Yeah, applies. I would say, yeah, it's the same. So yeah, oh my god, there's nobody here today. I'm actually reconsidering all of these. Fucking hell, there's like nobody here today. Fucking hell. I'm just doing it to myself. I'm just doing this to myself. Well, no, there's a couple of people there. Okay, yeah, we have a couple of people there. Yeah, there's nobody's in the chat. I don't know who's there or who isn't, but it's just dreaming to myself and a couple of very, very nice folks. I very much appreciate your presence here. Thank you for being there. Okay. Okay, so the parameter will be a this will be false. This will be a boolean. And it will be condition. Yeah, and it will be false by default because we don't want to enter in an endless loop by mistake, because we just added a while loop, and now we're just forever in a while loop. So yeah, let's just let's not let that happen. Okay. So okay, so what do we do here? So this is interesting because you can see how this is actually made, how an action like this is actually performed. So in the do method, right? And so in what's going on here, it's returning here, for instance, it's returning something that has block parameters, and we don't need block parameters. So we're just going to remove this one. We're just going to leave this one empty like that. It's safer way for now. I think this should be fixed. I had a problem where if I didn't add this, it would cause an error. I think I've already resolved that, but I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't want any more problems. So yeah, we don't need to face that issue right now. So times is not what we need now, but since this is a block, we know we're going to be receiving the blocks here, right? The actual block to run. So that's what the repeat does. So that's the way we do it, right? So we always get the parameters that we have, and at the end we get the block. That's all you need to know, right? So if you have like 3 different parameters here, you are all your parameters, and you know you have to add the block at the end. So then you have the time. Yeah, so instead of times, this will be condition, boolean, and we say yeah, we have yeah, we're not saving anything here. We're just saying that while condition, we may need to should we parse the condition? Because this is my problem with the while loop. We may receive a condition that is already parsed, and if this is true or false, right? That's the problem that I have. If this is true or false, it will be true or false always. So I need a new mechanism here for the while to work correctly. Because we need a new mechanism. Sorry. Just so good. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this for a while, for a little, because this is I'm gonna need to rethink of this. Because the problem is that this gets parsed, so we need a way to, what I need is basically a way to reparse the condition, right? Because probably you'll have like an operation here going on, and it goes and does this, and then it comes here and it will repeat the while loop with the condition already parsed. So we need a way to parse the condition every time here. You see, this is the kind of things that I'm facing, and I have to solve them. I have to rethink them. I have to go back to the drawing board, think about them, and then come back. The easy solution now that we have for now is a recursion, which it's totally doable, it's totally viable, and we can do it now. And yeah, and I like recursion. I'm a fan of recursion. You call me weird all you want, but I like recursion. I think recursion is sexy. And if you don't like recursion, we can't be friends. No, we can't be friends because I will have no friends. Nobody likes recursion, and nobody likes recursion like me. I think recursion is beautiful. I love it. I can't believe people don't like recursion. It's like recursion is, there's a beauty to recursion, you know? It's so fractal. It's so fractal. It's just lovely. It's lovely. Come on. Don't you like fractals? Don't you like fractals? Please tell me you like fractals. If you don't like fractals, you need to go on a mushroom trip, okay? You'll love fractals. Or use DMT or something. Okay. So, yes. Let's go. Okay. Let's do the instantiate obstacles, and then we do the move obstacles. So if our obstacles count is more than 1, which means that it's probably 0, we want to come here and say, so this is just to keep safe, right? Smaller than 1, we instantiate obstacles. Otherwise, we just say it's 0. So we make sure we're always playing the safe side. Is this called defensive programming? Defensive coding. Something you learn along the way. You know, just be defensive. You know, just always be on the defensive, because computers, you know, they're tricky bastards. You know, they just get you to, you know, an alley and do things to you. So you just, you know, play defensively. You know, just don't let computers get you through an alley and do things to you. Yeah, just play defense. Play defense always. Okay, so we're going to come here. Instantiate obstacles. I have already created it here. That's what we're calling it here, because we have created it. Otherwise, it would be impossible for that to not show a you know, an error. So we have it here. Okay, let's add it. Let's add, first of all, the thing that we need is our get by name. Yeah, so we have the name that we need to add. So we're going to add a string here. Oh, we could add a string. Yeah, we could. Well, why didn't I add the string there? We should get a default value here. Should be a string. Yeah. yeah, we'll add it later. So we say get by name will be slots, and it will be, yeah, because we're getting the children, right? We're getting the slot children, and we are saying, what are we saying? From who? From tile. So I grab the tile, I'm getting the slots children, right? So this gives us this instantiate obstacle style, right? So it's from this method, the parameter from this method. What else do we need to do? So let's go to our procedural scroller thing here. And yeah, so we come in here, we say, okay, we need to iterate our obstacles per tile, right? So repeat our obstacles per tile. So we come here, we say add after repeat, and this will be obstacles per tile, right? So we're just going to go through each one of these. It gives us the index very easily there, so we know, so you know how we have the I here, the I there, and you use that. Yeah, we're also using the index from this thing, but yeah, don't worry about that. So yeah, we'll need to fix that naming there to make sure we have probably slot position, slot index, or something like that. We should call it something like that because it's going to get confusing. I know it's confusing there in the code, so it's probably going to be confusing here as well. Yeah, let's come in here. Let's keep going. And so it will be, yeah, we will need a recursive function there. So we're getting the slots. We know we have, let's call this slots object. I'll just call it slots. Let's just call it slots because we call this slots here. We don't want to get confused. Okay, so we call this slots. And we know we need to get the children. Oh, we need to get children. Okay, yeah, we need, interesting. We need to return an array. That's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so, all right. So what we do is we say, use slots. Yeah, I don't think we have a get children. Cool. Yeah, we need to add that one too. So we go through each one of these, and we'll need to, first of all, yeah, the first thing we need to do, we need the children one. So let's do that. Let's add that one, okay? Let's add our get children. So, check 3D, get by name, get parent. Ah, great, get children, just down here, right? Let's get parent, get children. But this will return a type. This will be type array, and this will be value type object 3D, and it will be name children, and this will be the parameters. It will be children from object 3D. Yeah. So what we do is return children. That's all we do. Okay. Yeah. So we have object 3D and the children. There it is. But we need to get children. There you go. How easy? I would say how hard was that? Because that seemed very hard. So hard, so tough. I'm tired. Oh my god, I made it very easy to add these stupid functions. I'm gonna have to say that I made it so easy. I mean, I need to add the descriptions. I'm gonna hate myself later because I haven't added all the descriptions every single time. So I'm gonna hate myself. I know that. I know. But yeah, it's so much you can do. So yeah, let's. We have a problem with the notation, so we're gonna have a problem there. Yeah, with the notation in the arrays. I know that for a fact. It's not showing the array name, so it's just going to show the object 3D, and that's a problem. But yeah, don't worry. We'll get it sorted. We'll get it sorted. Don't worry. It's just don't worry. We know it's an array. We know it's an array, but it's just annoying. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to make it much easier. We're going to say, in order not to get confused, so that it's not confusing at all, we're going to say random range. We're going to go from 0 to get because I think we need to come back here for it to, if we don't come back here, it doesn't reload stuff, so it doesn't receive the get. We came here, we did stuff, and now it's like, what happened here? It doesn't really know what happened. Oh no. I'm an idiot. Length. There you go. Array length. It's just me being an idiot. So we need to get the array length of get children. There you go. Object 3D get children, and get children of slots. So the array length of get children of get the slots children, right? We're gonna floor it. Yes, we're gonna floor it. So it gives us a value there, and this is the this will be the slot index. Let's call it. Yeah, this will be the slot index, and or slot number. Let's call it slot number. Slot number. I like it. I like that better. Yeah, it makes more sense. And what else do we do? So here we have our slot number, and we'll make sure. We'll do this thing later. We'll just focus on. Let's assume that the slot we're getting right now is the slot that we want. Okay. Let's just assume that. Let's just be naive for a second. Okay. Let's just be naive. Let's just think well of people for now. And so we have our use slots, the push index, okay. And so we don't have that yet, because all of this is just, and this is just to make sure it's unique. So let's not think of that right now. Just be naive. Let's just think that this happened and it's correct and all that. Let's see what we do next. Let's see what's happening next. This is the one that we need to add. This is the proper one that we need to add. So now we actually need, this is the real one. This is the real one. This is the slot that we got, right? So this is the load position. So it would be the get at, right? So we go, now let's call this slot index, because we're actually getting an index from it. So we call it add after, and we're going to say get at, and it will be, see how here we're getting this actual slot. So we're going to call this, we're going to call that slot, but we're going to say get children slot at slot index. You see, so we get the child at the slot index, and we're going to call this our slot, right? So this is our slot, our actual slot, and we're going to use that. We're going to use that slot. Where are we going to use that slot? So we have our slot here. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to instantiate a prefab, right? So this is the thing we need to figure out now how we do it. We need to create a brick for it. It's going to be interesting to create that brick, honestly, because we could show, there are many ways in which we could actually show the possible obstacle names, because we could just let the user like do this, right? And say, okay, let's just write down a path, Or we could actually just show all the possible paths and let the user find that. So yeah, we could actually make it that easy, ridiculously easy, like just show you all the paths. Because here basically is what I have, right? What we have here is all the prefab names. The prefab names are the addresses, right? They're written like this. So you could actually just look for it in a list. We could just add this as an option, and that's it. So it could actually be very simple, very, very stupid simple, which is amazing. Now, we have one problem. The best one to use is on wait. This is I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But this is it's an asynchronous function. Why is this the best one? Well, because this one actually what this one does is it loads the array from the server, right? It downloads the prefab from the server, right? So if it's already loaded, it will come straight out. But this one assumes, okay, maybe it's not loaded, so we're just going to do this, right? The other option, it's prefab. You have prefab.fetch, right? That is going to fetch the prefab first, right? So this one is actually going to actually fetch the prefab itself, right? And let you instantiate it later, right? And you have prefab.get, right? And prefab.get is just, you can set the name and it will return the prefab itself, right? And you can instantiate this one, right? So you have both options, right? You can get and instantiate, right? Because this one requires for the prefab to have, you know the prefab is preloaded in the scene. So you say, okay, I'm just going to go confident and say get and instantiate. But the thing is, by default, everything is asynchronous. So if we know they're not asynchronous, we don't care. But we're not going to be naive here. We're going to actually build this one, and then we're going to build this one and the other ones and all that. Just get the prefab, fetch the prefab, all that. But for now, let's assume this one is an event, because this one does something that will and something will happen in the future, like down here. All this stuff that happens here, right? Everything that needs the instance, right? This will happen in the future, right? When the prefab has been instantiated. So we will treat it as that. We'll treat prefab instantiate as an event. Yeah, we're gonna need to do that. We probably have a few different options here, but we could use the fetch or the instantiate, any of both. The fetch will return the prefab. We could do both. The fetch will return the prefab, and the instantiate will return the this would be an instantiate by name probably, and this one will return the object 3D itself, right? We could probably call it instantiate by name. I'm thinking three things at the same time, and my head's going like, my head is going right now. So I'm sorry. My head is just, if I start talking about one thing and it's suddenly changed subject, it's because my brain is just changing subject. It's not you, it's me. Sorry, it's not me, it's my brain. Yeah, don't blame me. I know it's annoying, but hey, I have to live with this. You don't, you just have to hear me rumble here. And like, it's like, maybe, how many people are there? Like three of you? Is it three? Is it four? How many are there? 2, 1? Oh no, we have a bunch of people. Oh my god, we have a bunch of people on YouTube. Oh my god, it's just with me saying stupid shit when there's like 8 people. No, we have more. We actually have more people. Oh my god, yeah, it's like 10 people. Counting Twitch, yeah, we have like 10 people. Oh my god, this is too many people to be saying bullshit, right? Well, there's never enough people to hear me rumble any kind of bullshit. So yeah, okay. We need to add this. We need to add this brick. Let's add it. Now we have a bunch of people to see me do this thing. Let's do it. And it's actually a great feature. This is a fantastic new feature that I've added to Rogue Engine in the last iteration, and this is going to make it way better because now, well, we assume okay, you know what the address of the instance is, or where the address of the prefab is, but what we're doing now is saying, okay, you don't even need to know. You just look for the name, and we're just going to tell you what it is, right? And we just look for the exact name of whatever you're looking for, right? Something like that. But let me see. That could be one option, instantiating one from there. But not in this case. Look at this. What we could do here is say this is a mechanic that we'll probably use a lot. So we could actually have one that says like pick random prefab name or something, you know, pick get prefab name, something like that, because this was the reason why this was invented. This was invented so that we could actually do this, like pick a random prefab from a bunch of them, right? And like in this case, we're randomly picking, you know, the one that from 0 to the amount of obstacles that we have here, right? And just getting one and saying, okay, let's get that one and let's instantiate it. So we could actually have one that instantiates, selects, actually, we could pick the name, right? We could let you like select from a list of names, but that I'm seeing that as a problem now. Because if I give you options, I can't really let you edit that. See? In the current system, at least, when you set options, prefixed options, it assumes, okay, this has options, so this we'll just show those options, not other. We don't assume that there's something else, so that the user doesn't get confused with a bunch of other options. So it doesn't let you set actions and things that will help you define something, right? Right now, you just get a list of the things that you need. This is the point, right? That's the whole point. This is just the things that are going to work. You just, you know, you pick this and it's okay. This is what's going to work. All the stuff is not going to work. So we're going to show it to you, like here, right? Call method. It just shows you the methods. It doesn't show you actions to get a method or something. No. It just says, okay, these are the methods that you're going to add. You don't have any more methods. So we should probably have some kind of function, some kind of action to pick a random prefab. Oh, I don't know how to call this. I really don't know how to call this, but it would be something like pick random prefab name. Or get prefab from prefix or something. Yeah, naming things in programming is probably one of those things, right? One of the most difficult things that you can do. But hey, we could do this in the function. That's the whole point, right? So let's get started with it, and then we pick a name. We'll pick a name later. Okay, so we need the instantiate from name, right? So instantiate by prefab, instantiate by name. So which is basically just going to do this, right? It's going to instantiate, give you an instance, and you know, that's it. Yeah, it's good. Oh, it's going to be tough. Now I'm thinking, because the return is not prepared to return. That's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy. Yeah, we'll need to see how that one works. I'm not sure about this now. But we surely can let the user pick something here. So let's focus on this one. So before I go, we get this one fixed. Okay, so let's create this one. So because that one, what it does basically, it comes down here and says, get me a prefab from this folder, from prefabs obstacles. Right, so anything in prefabs you can get with that function, right? With instantiate prefab name. So everything is name set with this, right? Obstacles, delivery truck, obstacles, this kidnap truck, and then the sports car, the tractor. You know, all of these are you know, named prefabs because they are within the prefabs folder. You know, within a folder, just anywhere here, and so we can set like, oh, these are all obstacles, right? So like this, and we can instantiate them by their name. And that's a great way to work, I think. Now, when coding, it should give us a great way to do things also here. But we'll see, because now we actually need to pick a random one. Should it just be instantiate random from? Something like that. Like instantiate from path. And could be the like an instantiate random from path. Yeah, I think that would be even better, right? It's like, okay, so okay. Follow me here. So we say prefab instantiate, right? So this is the prefab instantiate, okay? This returns an instance, like a regular instance, okay? So let's say prefab instantiate random from path, right? So we'll instantiate one random prefab from a certain path. I think that's cool. We'll have a problem with this. This is certain we'll have a problem with this because this needs to be now async. And yeah, and we'll need a way to bring the return because we can't just return a promise. That will create a problem. That will create a problem because it's all synchronous. Yeah, I didn't think of this. So we this is not going to work. But we're going to set it up anyway. We're going to set it up. Okay, so what did I do here? I had actually added this and I removed it. So yeah, we don't need it anymore. Okay. So this is going to be a tough one. Because this one was actually doing it as a as a block. Yeah. We'll see what we do here. There. Okay. So, well, no, actually, no. Right. Because this won't be an action. Right, because this won't be an action. This is an event. This is an event. Define event. Yeah, this is an event. So it shouldn't be a problem here. I didn't add optional to the events. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay. So it should have it. Yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. And no, not here. Sorry. Like that. Yeah, that's a problem there with that. This will be the block params, and the block params will be the Object 3D instance. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah, this is what we need. Okay, so I think we're into something here. Because what we have here now is basically what we have here now is do we have an instance, the parent? We're not using that. We're not even using this. Why do we even have this? Because we were setting the parent, but we're not setting it. Why are we doing this then? Am I just playing fool here? What the fuck am I doing? Okay. I don't know why I did this. Probably changed it once and then forgot. But yeah, don't even listen to me. Okay. So okay, we're looking for the parent here. We're saying okay, don't look at the description. Description is wrong. Yeah, description is wrong. Instantiates prefab from a random prefix path. I don't know if that's the way to call it, but yeah, let's just say that's the way we call it. Friendmaster here. Look at that. First chat is from Friendmaster. It couldn't have been a better first chat of the day from Friendmaster. I've been here since for a while, and here's Friendmaster again. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining and for chatting there, for saying something in the chat. Yeah, when people don't talk in the chat, YouTube says no. So thanks for being there. And I am not leaving yet. No. I'm gonna try and get this to work before I leave. I'm mostly waiting for my wife to arrive. That's why I've been also looking at my phone. And yeah, making sure when she arrives, I'm probably just gonna go because I have to get her food prepared. So yeah, then it's when I'm going to leave. That's usually when I leave. I leave to cook for my wife. That's usually what I do. Yeah, probably going to be in about 10 minutes tops. So yeah, but no worries. Thanks for being there, mate. Thanks for being there. And yeah, we'll try to get this fixed now. Okay, so this is yeah, we'll try to get this working now. Which is different, right? What are we doing here? Why are we passing in component field? I don't even know why am I doing this shit here. This is some field. Yeah, if it had a field, which we don't have anymore, we're not passing here. Yeah, so why are we doing that? And it should be like parent. Yeah, I'm just fixing the other one we have here. Yeah, let's just fix that one. Yeah, this is the way it should be, right? So instantiate, prefab instantiate on parent, or just instantiate random, right? Because if we don't pass in the parent, it's just instantiate directly in the scene. And yeah, we just return that instance. And then we have, for a new one, for instantiate, we're just going to go from, we can't use that as a reference, actually. So prefab instantiate, in this case, instead of using the prefab function, well, in this case, we are not going to have a prefab, right? Let's fix the parameters. Let's fix the parameters because it's going to be right now name, right? So it's going to be a string. It's going to be a name, or it's going to be, well, this is going to be path, right? Path. There it is. So, and this is going to be the parent where we want to instantiate it. It's going to be path string. No, sorry, string. There it is. And yeah, we don't need to store it in any variable or anything. Okay. So we're going to say instantiate. We're going to see const instance equals await instantiate, because this is asynchronous, and we're going to instantiate path, and it also lets us it doesn't let us set parent. I know, doesn't let us set parent. Doesn't matter. We can set the parent ourselves. We can parent it ourselves. Yeah, we don't care anyway right now, but we can do it. Let's remove this guy. Okay, now. Okay. So we're setting the instance. Okay, this is the we're setting the instance. I was just removing a bot on Twitch. I'm sorry. So we're setting the instance. We're instantiating the instance, and now we need to set the blocks. So let me show you how we do the blocks, because I always forget, because this is the new way of doing it. I've been doing it for a very short time, this thing. So yeah, what we do is args block. I think it's no. How's it called? Component set. Yeah, component. Sorry, let's do set block params. Yeah. So this is the way we do it, okay? So we say we need to set it as a block parameter, so it will come in as a block parameter of our action, of our event, right? So our event will have these block parameters, right? So you see how this event, for instance, the collision, gives us these events, right? So sorry, it gives us the event, the block, the on collision gives us these parameters that get passed in. You see, like the repeat passes in the index, and the iterate passes in the index and the element, right? Same with the event, like collision, it passes you the other object 3D, the other body, and all that. It just gets passed like this. You see, it just sets the on collision start, and it sets the block parameter like this, and it has a reference for the engine to process it and give it to you, right? It just passes the object itself to you. And then it comes here and says, okay, block, let's call the block. So this is what it does. I'm just going to copy paste this like that. No, not that. I'm just going to do something stupid there, but no. Prefab, there it is. So let's come back here and yeah, let's come here. Didn't I copy the whole thing? I copied the whole stupid thing. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Okay, so what we're doing is we're setting the block parameters to the brick, and yeah, to our brick. And how are we calling it? Well, we're calling it what's the thing? It's called instance. So that's the name, right? So, oh, it doesn't have the completion. Oh, because we don't have the type here. Why don't I have the type? It's not... Oh, because it's too confused with the type. It's just a visual component. It has, yeah, it has the component, the brick. Why is it so confused about type? Come on. Stupid. It's just ridiculous. It gets confused because of what you can get, apparently, from this. I don't know. It's just stupid. Shouldn't get confused. But yeah. Then what it does is we pass in the value. So basically what we need is that, right? We need the brick, the name of the parameter, and the so the brick is basically just the thing, right? This is the brick, right? And this is the block parameter. It's saying, okay, this is my brick, right? So this is the brick we're in. And then we have the block, right? So it's the block parameter, the brick, the block, right? This is the block we're running. So that's what we're going to do. So we're just setting up this block parameter called instance in this brick. And then we're going to run this block for with that instance there, with that block parameter. So everyone has in that block will have access to that brick. And now we add the value. What is the value? Well, it's instance, right? So we'll come here and run this and say, okay, block parameter. And it'll come here and say, okay, run this thing. You know, block, call block. And yeah, I'll just call the block whenever that happens. It'll just run that block. Yeah, that's all it does. So this is the way we run the block. If you want to create a block in Rogue Engine, if you want to create an event with block or something, this is how you do it. Just set your block parameters and you run your block afterwards. Or you do whatever you want, really. You call your block wherever you want. You call it in the stupidest of ways if you want. I don't care. I really don't care. You want to play, you play, you have fun. You have as much fun as you want. Really, just play. Have fun. And yeah, so we said that, and what we're going to say is parent, and we're going to say parent dot add instance. Yeah, there it is. So we just add it. Add or attach? That's a good question here. Add or attach? It's always one that I don't know how to answer. Yeah, it's always yeah, I never know. Okay, so this should work. This should actually work. Incredibly enough. Well, we need to generate the path thing. So how do we do that? Well, okay, this is what we did here, right? So we have all the prefab names, then we have the obstacle names, right? So in this case, right? So we say, okay, we get all the prefab names that we have from RE prefabs. They're all saved here and named prefab UUIDs, right? So Rogue Engine gives you this in the prefab thing. So it tells you, okay, these are all UUIDs for all your prefabs. So we get that, and in there you have all the names of your prefabs, right? So we will filter all of our prefab names, right? You see how they're saved with the UUID and the name. See, right? So what we do is we get all those keys, right? Which is the prefab names and the UUIDs. We come here and we say, okay, let's filter that and check which ones include the path that we're given it. So that's what we do. We do exactly this, and that's how we get our path, right? And we get all of those names. We get only the ones that have this included. So all the obstacles, all the prefabs in obstacles, and then that include this part as part of the names. And we random pick one from 0 to whatever we're doing there. You see? So whatever the amount we have to select that, and we flow that as always, right? And just pick that one in our obstacles name. Easy. And now we just have a selected name. So let's do that. Let's just copy this and paste it here. There you go. So this is how we select our name. Oh, well, good news. We also have re.random range now. This is from the new version. You don't have that. You don't have this. This is new. You don't have this. I can't touch this. No. You don't have that. So we have a path here, right? So we select our path. We say which ones include our path. Instead of obstacles, we're just going to say, yeah, we're just going to call this something else, right? It's just going to be our found names, and found names length, select index, select the name, and we're going to use this as the path. There you go. There it is. How cool was that? We instantiate that, and we call the block with that selected. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous solution. Because now we come here. Okay, let's come back to this thing here. Okay, so think of this thing. Okay, all of this, all of this thing we've just done in a very simple way. Right? Because now we just need to set the position. We just need to do this stuff. So let's come in here. And add after, we'll say instantiate random from path. And we'll say which path? yeah, we'll set a string here, and we'll say this one should return an actual, yeah, the array ones are returning the wrong types. This should return an actual type here. This is wrong. Yeah, but we actually know that here we need something from obstacles. There you go. So obstacle slash, right? We want everything that has obstacle slash. And we're not going to set any parent. We're just going to instantiate in the scene. And in here, we do the stuff that we do down here after the await. You see? So we say, okay, we're getting the slot position. We're adding it to the instance. So we, of the slot. Okay, so we're copying the world position. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's do position. So we say copy position from it's going to be well, we need to be world position. Yeah. World. Say no. Well, yeah. No. This needs to be world position. We need to get the world position. Yeah. The copy. It only lets us copy a position, like a specific. We should have like a vector 3, like a position. Well, we could just do position set. Position set position. Yeah. Okay. We do a set position of object 3D, so it would be for our instance to get position. No. Well, this inlet. All of these times lets me get the world position. Oh. Fucking hell. Okay, so we need a function to get the world position. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, all right. Let's come here. Let's go to my bricks. No. Oh, no, not that. Bricks. Get position. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to say that yeah, this look at this, all the descriptions copy pasted. Okay, so get position. Let's say get world position. Yeah, let's just do get world position. And it will be okay, the same thing, but we're going to return it. World position. Yeah, and it's going to be yeah, it's not going to be this. It's going to be I think we have a v1 here that I'm using, like a v1. I have at least like vectors that I set up, so I have to like redo the vector. So let's just do v1 dot and we object 3D dot get world position, and we copy it to v1 because we need to copy it somewhere. Yeah, it just gives you, okay, give me a target for that position. That's what it does. And what we do is simply return v1 dot would be duplicate. What was the name? Duplicate No, what was the name? I forgot the name. Clone. Oh my god, I forget. What was the name? Duplicate? No, clone. Yeah. So okay, so we clone it, and yeah, and now we return that clone. So yeah, just return a clone of a vector3. Wait a second, because I have a door that is banging. Just a second. Sorry, I had to go fix the door. There you go. There it is. So yeah, we're getting the world position, and we're copying it to the other one. We could have a copy world position, actually, but yeah, we sometimes we need more flexibility, because we get the world position. We can get the world position set it to regular position. Why not? I don't know. I think it's a I don't know. We'll do what we need here, and we'll think of it later. So we would say in this case, get world position of our tile, no, of the slot, right? So we need the world position of the slot. So we set the position of our instance to the world position of the slot, right? That's what we do. And yeah, let's come back to the procedural scroller to see what else we need to do. So we set in the position, yeah, to that. And then we're translating x random range -1 to 1 by 0.5. And oh yeah, because we're making it okay. So what we're doing is we're giving it a bit of a movement, so it doesn't look like they are all just lined up. It gives us, you know, a little bit of a. It makes it look more organic. You see what I mean? So it really makes it look like much better. And also, sometimes the gaps won't be as intuitive, right? So if you have like two cars here, you know, sometimes the car will be like a little bit more, a little bit less. So it gives you a little margin there. That's an interesting way of doing this. As we were doing this in the game, we realized that was a nice way. But yeah, we'll do this later. First thing we're going to do, we're going to do the important parts, which are we need to add to the obstacles array. We need to add to the instantiate count, instantiate count. We call it instantiate count. Okay. So all right. So we add the instance to the array. So yeah, okay. Let's do that. Let's add this to the instance to the obstacles array. So we say add. So it would be array add. Obstacles array. So obstacles. We're gonna add our obstacle here. So it will be our instance down here. And what we'll do is we will find, what's the name? Oh yeah, the other one we do set field instantiate count, which is going to be math add, right? And it's instantiate count +1. Right, so we have one more instance. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah. And now what we do is we say obstacle. Oh no, because we need to get no. Right. Because we actually get in the obstacle prefab. Yeah. No, this is wrong. here in obstacles, we can't set the this is wrong. Why is it obstacles? Object 3D. Obstacles, no. No, right. This is wrong because right. Obstacles is a vehicle or an obstacles array. Yeah, so obstacles will be yeah, this is wrong. This is wrong here. And this should show that it's wrong, but we'll see. We'll see if it does it. But this should be an obstacles array. No, VC obstacle array. Sorry, VC obstacle. Yeah, because we have a new obstacle. Yeah, so VC obstacle. And oh, it should be an error here. There should be an error. Why isn't it showing error? Because it doesn't know what it is. Why is it? Oh, look, now it doesn't show the thing. So, why is there now an error? Get component. VC obstacle. From instance. And this is our obstacle that we're adding there. So that's what we do, right? We just get the obstacle from the instance and we add it here to our obstacles array. Yeah, so that was easy. I mean, it was easy. We only needed to add all of our blocks, but you see how we actually did this fairly easily. We had to do a bunch of things with our blocks here. And yeah, and now we also have this thing, right? Let's do these. The last thing we have to do is this one, right? The instance translate X and translate Z. Let's finish that and be done with it. And yeah, because now we just have details to finish this. We need to finish. This will finish the whole game logic. I think. No, we still need the move obstacle. Oh my god, we're still not finished. Oh my fucking hell. I'm hating this already. I see why nobody comes watch this live stream. I'm hating it myself too. Like, this is just translation. I hate it. So but I need to do this. So, you know, it's just something I need to do. So I'm just doing it. Yeah. So this way we're not biased as to what needs to be done. I'm not just building things for this. I'm building things that already are built, and we're just figuring out how do we build them with this. See? So I think that's the key here. That's the key to what we're doing here. Okay, so what else? What did we say we were going to do? So yeah, we're adding it there and set position. We're setting the position. Yeah, so when we set the position, we're doing that random translation thing, right? So add after. We need to translate. Do we have to translate? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Yes, translate X. Instance. How much? Random range. It's going to be, well, we're going to use a numeric expression. We're going to use a numeric expression. And we're going to say random range. We're going to say -1. Here we're going to add another one. We're going to say 1. And here we're going to add, what is this? The floor, should we floor it? False. No flooring. And we're going to say, yeah, we're going to add another thing here. Add after will be a by. We're going to add after a number, which is going to be, in this case, edit 0.5. There you go. And now, yeah, we're going to add after translate set. And we're going to do the same. We're going to say this is going to be our instance. We're going to, I need a way to copy. We need the copy for the parameters. So if they match like a number parameter, we should be able to copy it like that. Just copy parameters and paste them, because like these ones, I could duplicate them, but then it wouldn't work because it translates X and translates Z. So it doesn't work. So that's a shame. So that's something I need. Copy parameters. Because I just have to do it all over again, like random range. I mean, it's just a little hassle, it's not a big problem, but it kind of is a problem, kind of just pain in the arse. It's just these little things, that's those little things that make your life so much easier when you say, oh, I really needed that, and it works, it's, oh, that's nice. You remember those things and they make you happy, right? They're the reason why you come back sometimes is something. I have to be aware of that. So we have instance random range -1 1 -1 1 0.5 by 0.5 and by 0.4 in this by 0.2 in this case. And that's what we're doing there. Okay, so that should at least instantiate our prefabs in their corresponding position. We'll have superposition because we need to make sure that we still haven't made sure that they're not positioned in the same place. We could make it 1, like instead of 2 spots, we could say 1, and we know we will not have. What's the problem here? Okay, we have some kind of stupid problem here. I don't know what it is. Oh, because we're going through obstacles. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this will work anyway. Oh, no. No, we need to get, because we need to get the object 3D, right. So what we need to do here, this will not work. So we need to do bc get object 3D from value. Yeah, okay. Ah, that's good. That's great that we have that error. See, I saw the error and I thought, oh, because it's a VC obstacle, so it knew and it told us that. It sort of told us, hey, this is the wrong type. So it just came here and fixed it. There you go. It's because we know it was not, it was a VC obstacle. We had an object. So great. I just need a messaging, just need to show a little message there. My problem is that the tooltip is a bit separated, so I need a way to fill the tooltip. That's where I'm figuring out there for the messaging of the errors, but that's all really, that tooltip is kind of a bit separated from everything. But yeah, let's see can we do the move obstacles very fast, like very super fucking fast. I mean, this should be so fast. Please make it fast. No, it's not going to be fast. Oh fucking hell. Okay, well, we'll do it as fast as we can. Oh no. I'm not gonna finish this in time. No. My wife's already home. She's gonna be pissed. Yeah, because I told her I was gonna be on time and I'm not on time. I'm very, very late. Fucking hell. Can I finish this on time? Could I finish this like in the next 3 minutes? Could I actually finish this in the next 3 minutes? Is that possible? Is that possible for me? Let's do this. Okay. Iterate. Obstacles. We're going to get the obstacles. We're going to translate set. I think if I'm not mistaken, we're doing translate already with a let me see, are we doing translate with look at what the fuck am I doing? Translate set. No, okay, I'm not using the delta time there. Okay, so I'm not using delta time to translate. Brilliant. Okay, so we're gonna, okay, brilliant. Let's come zero control. There you go. Okay, brilliant. So this all should work. So we're going to translate VC get object 3D from the value, right? From the obstacle value. We're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to say obstacle speed. Okay, we need minus obstacle speed by the booster, by the runtime, by the delta time. All right. So it will be, yeah, let's see. Okay, let's go again. Numeric operation. It will be, get field. VC get field. Value. Speed. And before. Minus. And after. By. And after. Booster. And after. Delta time. There you go. Oh, no. We need add after. By. There you go. So we translate it on set. Done. But now we need a way to make sure we remove them, right? So when they are at swipe distance, we're cleaning them up. We're actually removing them. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. But let's make sure this works first. Okay? Because we're just moving the obstacles. We're instantiating them and moving them. Okay? We're never removing them. We're just letting them go and be free. Okay, we have problems. We have errors. I don't know what they are, but we're instantiating shit. Reading speed. Okay, oh, it tells us the error, what it is. And oh, okay, look at that. Oh, it tells us everything. It tells us all the errors we found. Look at that. Nice. So cool. Oh, I know what the problem is. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go because I don't have time to finish this thing. No, because what's the problem? I'm gonna tell you what the problem is very, very simply, very fast. The problem is that I'm using the VC component, but all of these just have the vehicle one. They actually need to be using the new vehicle component, and the new VC is the VC vehicle and the VC obstacle, both of them. That's what we have to do next time. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Probably what I'm going to do is next time I'm going to bring something new to do. I'm going to have this whole thing finished. Because, yeah, I'm just tired of doing this thing. And what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to bring this whole thing finished for the next time, probably. Unless people tell me, no, please, we want to see how you finish this. And you just, everyone's like, rallying up for it. Yeah, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't see the point. And it's just stupid, ridiculous. Yeah. I have 30 views, the last view, not the last one. The last one was like 40 views. And the previous one to that was like 30. So, so a Thursday of 30 views, a Monday of, and now there's nobody in the chat. It's just Friend Master coming here and asking me if I'm going to leave because he's probably tired as well. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, we'll see. I'm going to see what we can do. I'm just going to make sure everything works and everything's going. These are all things we need to do either way. I need to do these things. And yeah, I'm pretty late. So, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. VC obstacle. What's the speed? 13. Okay. And VC vehicle. Size speed 0. Lane move 0. rotation 0.5, rotation no rotation degrees, nothing else like that. No. Stand smoothness, rotation degrees 10, smooth 0.5. Yeah, look at that. Wow, this one doesn't rotate anyway, so who gives a fuck? But this one, the speed was 13, and that's the whole point of it. Okay, so we remove this one now. Okay, that's it. Yeah, brilliant. Save and exit. Boom. BC obstacle 12. BC vehicle. We can leave it like this. We can leave it like this. Don't worry. Yeah. It's all good. This one's on move, so it shouldn't matter. Okay, so we remove this. We say save and exit. This one, sports car. Add BC obstacle. Speed 10. And remember the speed. The speed. The smaller the speed, the faster it looks like it's moving. Remember that, because that's it's contrary, because the streets is moving and they're not moving. They're moving like they need to look like they're moving. We're not moving. So yeah, you'll see the effect. We're just playing with visuals here. We're just doing playing visual tricks. And yeah, and here it would be VC vehicle. This one is the only complicated one, which has side speed of 3, lane movement 4, rotation degrees 10, and smoothness 0.3. Yeah, there you go. So this one's the only complicated one. Everyone else should be simple enough. Save and exit. And now we come here to the tractor, and we say add BC obstacle. Yeah, I'm gonna die today. BC vehicle, and we say okay, this one is 14, and yeah, just do that. Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, save and exit. There it is, and that's it. That's it. If this doesn't work, I'm done. I'm dead. Okay, what's going on? So I died. I am dead. I actually died, and yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I just couldn't survive. So let's just close this thing down. Let's just play and see the errors from the ground up. Okay. Fresh errors. That's what we want. Fresh errors straight out of problems that we have. So reading a problem with position. My bricks is with repeats. Problem is that undefined reading position. Okay, couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. We were very close, but we couldn't do it. I have to leave now. This is like last call. This was last call. I did it very fast to try and finish it. I couldn't. This still has a problem. I know what it is. And I need to debug it. And I need to see what the problem was. Probably was something new I've added now here. And luckily it's showing me where the errors are, but I need to debug this. I'm very sorry, I have to leave. And yeah, I'll come back with a solution, probably already resolved, because I'm tired of this, honestly. Like, oh, I'm like, no. So, and people are leaving, actually. So, yeah, which is, I'm gonna leave as well. Friend Master goes, no, bro, I dig your streams. You're the only one, mate. You're the only one. Yeah. All right. Thanks for being there, mate. And thanks for being there, everyone else who's through this. Yeah, thanks for chatting. Thanks for chatting, Friend Master. You're the only one who chatted. So thank you, everyone else who was there, even though you didn't chat. I appreciate it. Next time, just leave me a hello, a like, a subscribe, and all that. And yeah, I'm gonna come back now on Monday, and hopefully I'll have something fun to do. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something fun. This is not fun. So yeah, let's do that. Monday, let's do something fun. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye. Monday, 7 p.m. GMT. Bye-bye.